Guess what's the current darling of the Indian diet world and the Indian health food world? I'm not talking of avocado or quinoa, but I'm talking of this. Anyone knows what this is? It's makhana. In fact, our dietitian, Dr. Riyankula, said that if you guys want to snack at night, then roast this with a bit of chili and salt uh, powder, and then have it roasted in a bit of ghee. You also get this in the market with sizes and flavors, but it's and we've got makhana from online sources, but these are special. Like we've not come across makhanas which are so big, so crunchy. These are made and in Darbhanga, grown in Darbhanga in Bihar, and sent to us by Pratibha Bondia Kheria, who's an organic farmer from there, and she's been doing this for 12 years. And we're going to talk to her because this show is Foodocracy for her. And my name is Kalyan Karmakar, and this is where we speak to women entrepreneurs in the world of food. It's the longest running podcast in the world, in India, which talks of women in food. And today we're going to talk to Pratibha in a minute or so, once I get her on.
Yeah, okay.
So there's Pratibha, and she's joining from Darbhanga in Bihar. Hi, Pratibha. I believe it's quite cold where you are.
Hi. Yeah, it's very cold. Yeah, I'm wearing a sweater right now.
Mumbai is very hot, so hands up on being. So, Pratibha, I was showing them your makhana, I mean, with the ones which you grow. So before we talk any further, I'm going to show you and everyone my makhana, which is baby loaf.
Hi.
My makhana yawns also. If makhana had come into our life earlier, maybe we would have named him makhana.
Yeah.
So, Pratibha, very interesting. Sorry, yeah, tell me.
Yeah, I'm saying he's sitting so quietly there.
Yeah, he's a quiet. Generally, cats are also quiet, but he's not so quiet early morning when he wants food. So then his brother, like they'll keep waking us. So, Pratibha, very interesting story. I was saying that you went to Arizona in the US, which is also known as an agricultural state, to study agriculture, which itself is not a common subject for people to study. In fact, there was this friend of mine in college who'd gone to Arizona to study agriculture many years back. And then you've been a organic farmer for 12 years and a CEO of Pearl Mithila Makhana, your company. So tell us a bit about it. Let's start with first, why Pearl Mithila Makhana? I'm assuming, is it because makhanas look like pearls? Is that so?
No.
No, okay.
The reason is like,
tell us naam ke piche story hai.
Yeah, naam ke piche ye story hai ki my daughter name is Pearl. Actually.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we thought of this farming and the brand after she was born. So that was the first name came to our mind. And the why Mithila is because the region, the area that we live in is Darbhanga, and Darbhanga Madhubeni area, it is called Mithilanchal in Bihar. So this is the Mithilanchal area of Bihar. And the Makhana is Bihar is famous for Makhana. Like India's 95% Makhanas has been grown here.
Yeah.
And use them.
Okay, so there is Pearl, after whom Pearl Mithila has been named.
Yes.
And there's Abhinay, who's been on baby duty today. And Pratibha is saying that a big sort of source of support. So Abhinay, I was telling him that we are more than happy to be the source of support for our wives, because I'm quite happy to sit back. But and your son, is he around somewhere?
No, he's playing downstairs. Yeah, I mean, I think the reason I'm working today is Abhinay. Like I was so lost, with kids and everything, and Abhinay kept reminding me. You need to get back to work. You have studied so much, and don't lose your focus. And even on days I get more on the kids' duty, he's the one bugging me. See, you are losing the focus again, and you better should get back to work.
Yeah. No, but that's so sweet of him. And you said that you guys are also trying to practice slow living because really caught up. Yeah, I mean, it's the same with Kenas and me, that sometimes we're so caught up that we just don't know what. But it's great that you are sort of keeping her focus on Abhinay.
Yeah.
That's great stuff.
With Abhinay, he was always in Bangalore.
Okay.
Like he had studied, he left home when he was in class first. So he was like always like, you know, a very party guy, and was living and working there. And it's been like, I think before, just a year before our marriage, he moved back to Darbhanga.
Okay. So is it, has it been difficult for him to get adjusted?
Yeah, like, you know, it was difficult in the beginning. And so for both of us right now, we are just trying to, you know, build a different kind of life here, like in Darbhanga.
So what is Darbhanga? Is it like, it's a district, but is there also a town?
Yeah,
like
it's a town. Like
it's a town.
It's a town. Yeah, it's a big town.
And you also went to Arizona and then studied and came here. So what made you go to Arizona to study agriculture?
Agriculture. Actually, I did my master's in agribusiness management. And
in India or over there?
No, in abroad.
Agribusiness management. Yeah.
Yeah, I studied BSc agriculture from JNKVB University, Jabalpur, and they had a campus in Indore. And after, you know, studying all the basics of farming, I wanted to have the business skills. And I would, you know, I would take 2 minutes of your time. Actually, I had this in my mind that I will have this big, you know, agribusiness empire. Maybe
all my time is yours. Why 2 minutes? The whole, it's your show. It's your show.
So I had in my mind, like, I'll create a seed company like Monsanto, or I'll go into plant breeding and biotechnology.
Yeah.
And that was my plan. And the reason I chose Arizona is Arizona Business School. WP Kheria Business School is like that we had in agribusiness management was also very good. But what happened when I went there, there was a course on like a project, like you could just do anything on your own. And for that, I went to an organic farm in California.
Okay.
And you know, it was like 100 kilometers like interior to California, and I saw different US there. Like ऐसा लग रहा था कि कोई इंडिया का गांव है.
Wow.
You know, they had a farm, and you know, they were growing organic vegetables. And the lady I was, so the internship was, they won't pay me, they would give me food and stay. So
and organic food.
Yeah, organic food.
With the mehenga khana.
Mehenga khana, yeah. So the lady that I used to stay with even used to eat organic chocolates, and you know, wear organic clothes. And that was something very new for me. I never heard a term organic before that. And you know, I never saw that kind of US. But you know, in that 1 month, I could see a change in my body. And I could see that, you know, somebody could eat the itna mehenga chocolate. And you know, itna mehenga kapda, because we always had this in my mind ki jitna sasta mil jaye.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then you know, the farm that we had, it was very close to the Google head office. And so in front of me, 2 to 3 colleagues of you know, Google came for a meeting, and they used to buy all the vegetables from that farm.
Wow.
And that was like an eye-opening for me. And you know, on that, I still remember I was standing there, and I decided to come back to India and do organic farming here. And previously I had a plan that after my master's, I'll stay there for 1 to 2 years and do my work experience. And then,
which is the normal thing, you know,
and then I'll create, like, you know, a big brand as Monsanto. And my dad was very angry on me, of course. That
what did your dad do? What does your dad do? What did he want you to do?
He's a chartered accountant.
So what did he want you to be?
Yeah, so he wanted me to start a very big agribusiness unit, like you know, like something like Monsanto or a big set company where we do a lot of research on plant breeding and such. And he's very happy right now with the work and organic farming, because it's very new. It's a very slow way of farming. And
organic, like even in social media, I think organic means it's a slow way of growing. So it's natural, it's engaged followers, but it takes time versus like putting a lot of money and buying bulk, you know, followers. So even I like to say my page is fully organic because I mean, it's a
and you know, with organic is that you cannot grow like, you know, a lot at once. Because you know, it's all manual. So it's not like, you know, you can grow 100 acres together or 100 acres together. So, but and then there I learned that agriculture is a very local thing. Then
even in the US.
Even in the
US.
So I cannot apply the principles of US farming here in India. Like, you know, I am from Odisha. My hometown is Odisha.
Oh, you're not from Bihar. You're from Odisha.
Yeah. I am.
So are you Odia? So you're Odia, not Bihari?
So I have a very different. I have traveled. So we are basically from Haryana. Agrawal.
So we were, so far we were Eastern India, Bengali, Bihar, who's from Orissa, but suddenly now North Zone we are. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're originally from, and
yeah.
Haryana has very strong farming genes.
Genes,
yeah.
So and actually, it's like I'm the first girl in my family to go into farming because it was my dad's dream. Like, so he's a chartered accountant. He like when I was studying in college, he was like, the time you will be grown up, it will all about food and agriculture.
But that's very far-sighted. Huh? I mean, for parents, I mean, normally, especially say in a place like Bihar or even Bengal, it's like, charter IS mein jao, nahi to, professor bano, doctor bano. Yeah, but agriculture is never considered. No, it's like farmer, kheti. Why will one study and go? Itna padhai karke. Yeah. No, and it's interesting that you said this because and the US connection. Because earlier in Foodocracy for her, I'd interviewed Devi Kutty, who runs Biobasics, so where they sort of source organic rice, millets, oils, and now we buy a lot from her. She's based in Coimbatore. But she said that it's when she went to the US and she did a master's in sociology in farming. And the same thing, she realized that, there's a completely different segment in the US and different from those who are having junk food and obesity and all of that. And over there also the farmers were growing good stuff. The mass was not willing to pay for that. Like even I must confess that even us before the pandemic, we weren't that particular. So even then she also, while at US, decided to come back to India and make this work, and as a business entrepreneur. And you also. So imagine people US jaake, then they're realizing the India में क्या richness है, but that's
richness है. Yeah. कि मुझे लगता है कि जैसे कि the reason I mentioned is Odisha, कि when I used to do farming in Odisha and I worked like a lot in UP.
So Odisha में where in Odisha?
Jharsuguda.
Acha. And UP also, did you be in the eastern side of UP because that's more towards Bihar, Bengal and all that, or?
No, I was in Beta, Hapur. Have you heard of Hapur?
I've sort of heard of Hapur.
Yeah, so it's like a 3 hours drive from
Lucknow.
3 hours drive from Delhi. Actually when I came back to India, right? Like my journey has been very interesting and full of chaos. Because
I mean, that's what we love. We love chaos. We love interesting journeys.
Yeah.
Because then I can just sit back and listen. No, but more importantly, that like I keep saying this podcast, while I interview women, I'm not really interviewing you just as because of your gender, but because of your achievement as entrepreneurs. And I think that all of us have things to learn from you. So yeah, tell us about your interesting story.
What happened that when I was in US, I met many like I was the only one studying agriculture there in the whole Indian communities, and they were all surprised, like, why you have come here to study agriculture, like, why not computer science or anything. And I met many US students knowing Vedas more than me.
Wow.
And like they were in so awe of the arranged marriage. Like Abhinay and I had an arranged marriage because it was my dad's dream to find a boy for me. So I was like, it's okay.
You're happy with his choice?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
You were telling me that he really supports you. And he's the reason why you can do what you're doing.
Yeah, and he is like a very focused person. So he gives me the focus in life.
Same here. My wife is very focused. I'm all over the place. What does Abhinay do?
So he's into construction.
Oh, okay. Completely different.
Yeah, construction, and they do like the export and import of copper.
Okay.
So he's into multiple business, and he also does shares and gold, and so he's a business person, and I'm like not a business person because I've always worked in the field, and I like to write as well.
So you're the creative person.
Yeah, I'm.
Whether you're creating, whether you're writing or creating Makhanas, you're okay. So tell us. Yeah. So you came to India. Oh, sorry, you went to the US and you were impressed by how they know more about the Vedas, or I might say even yoga and haldi milk, turmeric latte than we do. So then what clicked in your mind?
That was the moment that, and there was like a lot of parts that I loved, about US and, the way they are professionalism, the way they run their families and everything. And I came back thinking that, I will do a very good job, like, great job in India. Let me go back. And I left home when I was 14. like I did my schooling and then college, and I came back, you could say around 10, 12 years. And it was like, a cultural shock all over again when you start living in an Indian
So
family.
so after 14, so after 12 years, so you were in your mid 20s when you came back.
Yeah. So
Oh, so
I
that's
came,
very interesting because 14 is like your middle of your teens, and I think you went to Indore. So, I mean, that's when your thoughts and everything are getting molded as a young adult. So
yes.
that part of your life you'd spent abroad. Like, as a child, you're nurtured. Then as a teen, you start having your initial foundation of your thoughts and in different parts of the world, not just India.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
no,
you come back to
actually,
Darbhanga.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry, to cut you short. When I was 14, I went to Jabalpur. So
Okay.
I've done my schooling from there, and
But it's still away from home, right? It's
still
not.
away from home. Yeah,
Ah,
still away from home.
yeah.
So
And then
yeah,
Indore and then the US. And
then
within US also Arizona, like people go to, New York or Los Angeles. So I mean,
yeah.
the other places we know, Chicago, but you went to Arizona. Very
Yeah.
interesting. So, yeah.
Very interesting. So I came back, and it was also like a very different journey. It took me like a lot of time to understand the family structures of India. And and then I traveled. Then I told my dad I want to simply travel for some time, and he's a very cool dad. He
I,
like, if I
yeah.
mean, if I'm away for 20 days, he won't even call me asking where are you.
Wow.
At time I used to call him saying, please, I'm a daughter, and all my friends, father asked me. So, I have tried my hand on spirituality and, different yoga centers and everything. And then there was this farm in UP, Bharat Bhushan Tyagi ji, and he even got Padma Shri for his work in organic farming 4 years
Wow.
back. So
Wow.
I worked with him for 5 years.
Okay.
And I was at his farm, living there with him, learned all the basics of organic farming. And that was the reason I chose Darbhanga, to get married and settle down. I wanted to settle down in a small city, like a small town, so I could do my farming. And
So where did you grow up as a kid? Was that Darbhanga?
no, that was in Odisha, Jharsuguda.
Oh, okay. So Orissa, then Jabalpur,
Then
then
Indore,
Indore,
then
then
US.
to Arizona,
Yeah.
and then you came back to India. You worked in UP, and then you decided on Darbhanga. So
Yeah.
tell us about why Darbhanga? I mean, why not some other place in Orissa, Bengal, UP, maybe south of India? Why Darbhanga? What's special about Darbhanga?
What's special about Darbhanga? I think it's Abhinay, and my husband. Actually, my
He's
work.
from he's from Darbhanga.
Yeah, he's from Darbhanga. So my work is very different,
Okay,
like
your
I'm
and his
into
work. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm in. So when I was studying in college, if you see, how we grow fruits and vegetables, how we sell it, we hardly get to know our farmers. The
Hmm.
farmers ne khana ugaya, and it's the middleman who buys everything, and then we buy it like in a supermarket. If you'll ask a young child, where you get the vegetables, maybe he'll say supermarket,
Big bazaar or food
big
hall or
bazaar, or
whatever. Packets se aata hai. Like,
packets out there. So
yeah.
when I was in college, it always bugged me that being a farmer, the farmer does so much of hard work, and they are
Absolutely.
the poorest. They are in the
Hmm.
debt. They are doing suicides for that. So
In
I always
Maharashtra, that's
had
a
this,
big problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I always had this thought that I want to connect,
Yeah.
the farmers and the consumers. And if I am growing something, then people should know. And then
Hmm.
when you study the agriculture, you come to the gaon, and
Hmm.
somehow I found a peace. Like I would like really want to share an experience that
Please
when
do, please
there
do,
is
because I'm still trying to fathom, because I've always been a city person. When we
Mhm,
go for holidays, also my wife and I actually like to go to cities.
mhm,
So I mean, I am still, from that generation. I'm just a couple of years away from 50. So I also came to India when I was 8 or 9. But
mhm.
from then at least I have some perspective of going to rural places, but not too far from Calcutta. Then for market research, I've gone to like rural places in UP, Bangladesh, and all that. But you go there, come back to the hotel. Um, I can't really think of living in a village. So you tell me about what makes you smile about having stayed in a village.
Yeah, and you know what? Like even when I remember that life and the journey, the field that I have lived in for 5 years, car bhi wahan nahi jati hai. You have to take a belgadi to go there, and I was
Hmm.
happiest there because see, if you go to any village person house, right? Like they will give you like lots of vegetables and fruits. Like they are so giving. उनके खेत में उगता है, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि it's their not hard worked money. But if you go to a city person and like go to their shop, they would even think and be very calculative giving you.
Forget shop. If you come to our house also, I mean, to each other's house, you know, it's not that you'll open the house and say that.
Yeah. So in the village, and when we see about, you know, the sustainable living and the like more kachra and everything we are making, I think it's the village people who make the least kachra, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you know they don't have that much money to buy all the packaged food, so they just eat what they are grown. You know,
and even clothes, I guess they won't have the sort of excesses, clothes or or jute, electronics.
Yeah, so they live a very minimal life, and I don't know, somehow after I'm 35 right now, and I got married when I was 30. So for last, you could say 30 years of my life, I've explored.
Which is also considered to be, I mean, slightly late by traditional Indian standards, like, you know, for, you know, family to not put pressure on a girl to get married by the mid-20s. So I must say your family is very progressive.
Yeah,
and
it's
which is
my
good. I
father,
mean,
actually,
we need people like that. I mean, people like your father, your husband. I mean, look, I mean, before women want to cancel me and say that why do you want men's permission? I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that we need people with that mindset. And
so, you know, and so I find like there's a peace. And you know, I think and like for my daughter, when we believe, and I think it's very important to also see the city life and you know explore the world, because
the
I
other
could
world,
make that decision when I have seen everything. You know, I like, if you'll ask me, there's nothing in me that is unexplored. Like, you know, I was in Pondicherry for a month in Aurobindo Ashram, just staying there. Then I was in Pune. I worked for IIM Ahmedabad for 3 months.
Wow.
In Rajasthan, Sardar Sahar for some time. So I have explored everything. And then I decided that I want to stay, like, you know, at one place. And I really want to, that's my future goal is like, you know, to work with the Makhana. Because Makhana is
You should also write a book. You should also write a book. I mean, your experiences is such. I just want to put this interview aside and hear about all your stories and then get into Makhana. But we'll do it some other time. But you must write a book. But so why Makhana? And in case for people why people are wondering what's Makhana, so this is Makhana. This is actually come from Pearl, Mithila, Makhana, and I know many of my friends have been ordering it. I must tell you, Pearl. I must tell you, Pratibha, and they're loving it. And they are saying the same thing which I'm saying. We buy Makhana from local online stores and all that. I'm sure they're not bad, but you know, this quality, I mean, this size, the crunchiness, the lightness is just amazing. So why Makhana?
Yeah. And firstly, thank you so much for your selfless support. You know, you have been.
No, but see, my thing is that, you know, if I get to try anything, it's just a lot of gratitude that, you know, I'm in a situation where perhaps I can then talk about it and let more people know about it. So it works two ways. I mean, the person who's producing it then, you know, has scope to produce more. And other people like us can also get to taste the other side of life, the good side of life, which honestly, till the pandemic, I don't think, you know, I had even appreciated. But I mean, it's all your credit. But again, why Makhana?
Why Makhana? So it's like I stay in Darbhanga, Bihar, right? And Makhana is like the local crop here, you know, the base, and you could say the farming crop. Like every city and every place has its own farming crop, and that's Makhana for Darbhanga and Bihar. So you know, we got married in 2018. So after we had like one child and everything settled down, I thought to work, like get back to farming. And the true story is when I connected with the people here, they advised me, well, why don't you start working with your local crop? And when I read more about makhanas, I believe it's a very beautiful food. You know, it's gluten.
It's some people say call it lotus seeds, but that's wrong, right?
Yeah, that's wrong. Like it's a big myth that makhana is being grown from lotus and it's a lotus seeds. No,
because like even my friend Dr. Kurush Dalal, he was telling us that no, it's not lotus seeds. And in fact, he was telling us some interesting things about how people have to, you know, get it out of the water and stuff like that. So you're the expert. Tell us about.
So it's a very, you know, वो बहुत मेहनत वाला crop है. It's a very hard work and intensive crop. So makhana seeds are being grown in the pond.
Okay,
and
that's one.
Yeah, there's this makhana ka, you know, makhana ka fool. You know, there's this different makhana plant, and then the lotus seeds that has been very popular all over the internet. So when I researched about the crop, see, the beauty of makhana is that, the people from every age and generation can eat it. Like,
Absolutely.
makhana is very safe food. We can start giving the babies after 6 months of its age. Right?
As a powder.
As a powder, yeah.
Wow.
As a powder. And there is a lot of people who doesn't believe in powdered food. Like for my son, we just used to roast the makhanas, break it into two, and give it to him. So
wow.
he is being eating that.
So rather than processed packaged food, which is coming from all over the world. Yeah, I wish my cats would. Now these guys have got used to those cans. So I mean, they're the only people who reject my food. I'm not, Mike, it's a big insult to me. I mean, I'm no chef or something, but jo bhi banata hu, wo theek thak banata hu, but they just reject it. Like whenever I just spoke of, having home food, and Baby Loaf like turned around. Yes.
So, but yeah, even like, at times like now.
So then what is makhana? If it's not lotus seed, then what is it? It's makhana is a, flower by itself.
Seed. Yeah, it's like you could see, the makhana, like just a lotus seeds like myth ho gaya. The beach, the seeds, the black in color, it's the same how the lotus seeds look like. So we have like a different, it's called makhana plant only. I don't want to give it any other name or.
Yeah, so it's okay. So makhana is makhana.
Makhana is makhana, yeah. Yeah, because there has been so much confusion around makhana, and if you Google, you will find different names. But I was like, it's like makhana, like seeds, and makhana flowers, you could say. And so क्या होता है कि पोखर में होता है makhana, pond.
Yeah.
Like pond में होता है. So
you said pokhar.
Pond में क्या होता है कि we do our farming from Feb to August.
Is pokhar Uriya for pond? Is pokhar Uriya for pond?
No, it's pokhar. No. It's pokhar is like Mithilanchal word.
Because in Bengal we say pukur.
Okay, pukur. Yeah, it's here called pukur.
Yeah. Pokhar. Okay, go ahead. So pukur, what?
Yeah. So Feb to August. So makhana is a very seasonal crop. We do the farming of seeds from Feb to August. And say कि एक trained class है. जो फिर then they get down into water.
Can
you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We lost the signal for a bit, but you said that February to August is the farming period, and they go into the water. Lost her again. We've got Pratibha back, and there's a problem I can't fathom in Mumbai, but because of the cold, the internet signal's a bit wonky at her end. So, Makhana, sorry, Pratibha, I've been calling you Paul, Makhana, everything, but no, Pratibha. So tell me, so February to August.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You're the Makhana lady, Makhana girl.
Yeah, Makhana girl now. Yeah.
Makhana girl, that should be your name. Okay, listen. So February to August makes sense because in winter is very cold, so people can't go into the water. So you said they go into the water and then take out the seed from the makhana flower.
Yeah, makhana flower. So they go into the water and they take out the seeds from the makhana flowers.
And is this a traditional thing? It's a traditional thing of Darbhanga?
Yeah, it's a traditional thing. Yeah.
And then what do people do? What do people do with the seeds?
What the people do is like, we are farming our own seeds. So what do the people who, the farmers, what they do, the seeds, they sell it to, the processor like us who process the seeds then.
So what do you mean by process?
They get.
What do you mean by processing the seed? What do you have to do to the seed?
So, you get the seeds, like it's this big in size and black in color. Then they take it out from the water and then they sun dry it. They first clean it, seeds, it gets sold, like, if they are trying, going to sold it to the outer market. But in our case, as we grow our own seeds, we then take out the seeds from the pond and then we sun dry it. We give it like a good sun dry. And, it's like, इसको कहते हैं फोड़ना मखाना को. And जो मखाना को फोड़ना है उसको कहते हैं फोड़ी वाला, and then like it's required, the whole family is involved in this process, फोड़ने वाले process में. And it's a very traditional way of doing it, and it's required a lot of hard work and skill. So what they do, they make like a gas chula of mud.
Okay.
Like, and like this bag, the gas chula,
Huh.
they made, and we have even recently posted a video on our Insta page as well.
I'll
And
get
they
open
put
your
five,
Insta page also. While you're
yeah, and
talking.
I put five kadhai.
Huh.
Then they put five kadhai to the top of
Huh.
it, you know,
Huh.
and then then they makhane ke seeds ko bhoonjte hain. Yeah,
This
I'll
is
just show
your.
you which
Huh.
one that I'm
No,
talking
I'm
about.
showing it on your thing.
Yeah, no, this is the one.
This is
Yeah.
the one. No?
So here.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one. Hmm. Yeah, so
Okay.
what they do here, I'll just show you कि वो
हाँ.
उन लोग 5 कढ़ाई में उसको भूनते हैं, like, you know,
हाँ.
जैसे कि उन्होंने मिट्टी का चूल्हा बनाया, then they put
हाँ.
5 कढ़ाईs on the top, and it's like the family members, even the kids, the elder kids and the
हाँ.
wife of the, you know, family, they all sit and they have this, you know, लकड़ी का ऐसा बना हुआ झाड़ू
पाउंड
जैसा
करने के लिए. हाँ.
हाँ, and then उसको ऐसे कढ़ाई में वो सेकते हैं, like एक ने
हाँ.
सेका, उसको मखाने ने उसने दूसरे कढ़ाई में दिया, then the second one roast it and give it to the third person,
So it's
and
like an assembly line.
yeah,
It's
it's
almost
an
like an
assembly
assembly
line,
line.
and it's like all the family work, and the
हाँ.
fifth person who roast it, you know, take it to CP.
Okay. The fifth person?
Yeah, it's a family line, and it's like,
No, what
you know,
happens with the
and
fifth person?
yeah, and then the fifth person give it to the fodi wala bhaiya who's sitting
हाँ.
just next to them, and they have this lakdi ka kulhadi, right? So, you know, they get the seeds and then they do the fat, like they
हाँ.
वो फोड़ते हैं उसको, and the makhana, you know, just pop out of it.
So this comes out of that. So this is the final result.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm saying, is this the final result? Can you see me now?
Yeah. Could you hear
So
me?
this, yeah, I can hear you. So this is the final result.
Yeah, this is the final result.
So
No,
five steps, and then yeah. Let me see. You know, I can show it better. Which let me just see which video you're telling me. Then I can show that in the screen better. Is it which one? Is it this one? Is it this or further down? Is it this one? Yeah. No? Okay, guys, see. So this is what Pratibha was saying. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
yeah.
Yeah. So you can see ek kadai, do kadai, teen kadai, char kadai,
yes,
5 kadai, and then yahan pe the bhaiyas, you know, doing the forna. And then out of that comes out this. So therefore, what you're telling me, Pratibha, is that people go into the pond, pick out black seeds from the flower, they clean the seeds, they sun dry it, and then you know, then they get it for the processor, and for the processor, it's, you know, secoed here, 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 here. And then you're going to see that and each place is this thing. It's like stirred, and then after 5 rounds of secoing, it comes to the guy here, and he's making this, and then this, you know, comes to me in Mumbai. Could be coming. And is this exported across the world? Is this exported?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but then once the fodi wala
is this exported?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, once the fodi wala bhaiya do, you know, makhana ban jata hai, then there is this black cover on the top of the makhana, जो बहुत सी बार चिपका रह जाता है. You know.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah. Thoda dots. So this one, right?
Thoda right? So that's the black seed cover of the makhana. So at times, because it's a very manual thing, right? So, you know, a lot of times the makhana doesn't get pop as good as this, because it's all depend upon the roasting of how the seeds are roasted. So somehow, you know, the small makhanas, the very hard ones that you see in the market,
because yours is very, everyone who's ordered from you has said very like big but airy, crunchy. You have a bite. and it's this thing. And I agree with them because we used to buy those online makhanas and roast it at home. So it's still better than, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the reason is we handpick each makhana from that lot.
Okay.
to
In
get
in
this
your
product.
in your business.
in
Like,
our business. So what we do is, like, once the Fodi wala bhaiya, we get the makhanas from them in our own unit. Then what we do is, we put the makhanas in a holler machine. That cleans the outer part of the makhana. The black seeds, black cover of the makhana, and then we put that into a grading machine to grade the makhanas of different sizes, and to double check on the sizes, because the small, the hard part is not good for the babies and it has choking hazards and everything. Then we
like
again handpick
also.
each makhana. We have trained women for that, and it's all done manually.
And all the stuff, I mean, the people working on it are also local, right? The
Yeah.
people working
So
on it are all local, whether it's the women or the processing or the farm. So it's also sustainable. And you said it's organic. So in what sense? Like, you don't put any chemical? I mean, it's anyway from the pond, right? So
yeah, so it's also a default organic crop, makhana. But a lot of people like, they put a lot of chemicals in the pond to make the makhana seeds grow like a bigger. But we don't put any,
Do you have a picture of a pond?
Yeah,
do you have a picture of a pond on the Instagram? On Instagram? Let me see.
Yeah,
can you show it on your phone? Then I'll show it.
We all visited.
No, this is how the sunrise. See this. This is how the sunrise the makhana seeds. This is how the sun drying is happening. Wow, guys, just go to their page. Pearl Mithila Makhana. No, the page is not Pratibha Bondia Kheria, but it's Pearl Mithila Makhana. And let me see if I can see the pond.
This is if you could see it.
Yeah, just show it close to this thing. Just tap the screen once. This is it, no?
Yeah, this is the makhana.
Yeah, this is.
And makhana seeds go underneath it.
And the green thing is what? The makhana flower? The makhana, the green? The green thing.
Green is, you could say, makhana plant. And the makhana
because it also looks like lotus. It looks like lotus, no? That's why. Okay.
And the makhana seeds are grown underneath it.
And is there machli also? Is there fish? Rohu and all that?
No.
the Bengali in mind running fresh fish in the
fish
pukur.
The fish of Darbhanga, Bihar is very famous.
Yeah. So many processes go into Darbhanga, into the makhana. I don't know what's happening to it.
And it's all manual.
All manual, and all the people you've trained them. You're this thing. So the people who go to get pluck it also, like, are employed by you.
Yeah, they all are employed by us only.
So would this mean that they're probably making more sort of income that they were doing earlier when they were by themselves?
Yes.
So it's also the growth of the area you're working in. That's lovely.
Yeah. And what we are trying to do, like, slowly, it's our second year of doing this business. And what we have in the plan is to...
I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you. Yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hi, are you there, Pratibha? This is the first time I've interviewed someone in such a cold... No, that's fine. It's the first time I'm interviewing someone who's in such a cold environment. Okay, you said that this is your second year of business. So what's your plan? What's the plan going ahead?
Yeah, so this is our second year of business, and we truly want to improve the the standard of living and the lifestyle of the people who are involved with us. So we are slowly thinking, like, in the next 5 years, how we can create a better environment for their family. Enrolling them into a good school, or doing something in their village. We are in the talking terms with them. What are their needs, and we are paying them good. We are giving them good working environment. Like, we have recently planted a kitchen garden, like, back to our processing unit, where even they can take good vegetables home.
Oh, how lovely.
So
and organic.
like all the yeah, all organic, like the Fodi wale bhaiya, so they even they can eat good, and the expense on the vegetables will be less when
Yeah,
they
and
will
that's
get
the
it from us.
main nutrition. Acha, tell me, when I was telling people about the makhana which you do, then there's a friend of mine, Aditi. So she sources makhana from the local market and consumes it. And she was interested to reach out to you and order because she said that she'd seen some videos of makhana farming and that showed a lot of exploitation and all of that. So when you said ethical, yeah, you can hear me, right? So when
Yes,
you
yes.
said ethical farming, that sort of interested her. So I mean, can you tell us a bit about like what is the difference between the way you guys work and the traditional ways? So like, what's ethical about yeah.
So I think the ethical about is how we,
Just
the
one second.
team. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I would say the team that we have of the people who do the 4D for us, who do the grading for us. I think that how we treat them and how we pay them, right?
Yeah.
And then how we take care of them when we go into the water, and we pay them good price for the seeds, and in the future plan is to take care of their family. Like we
And
are
it's also
doing that.
hazardous, right? When they go into the water, like how
Yeah.
long are they inside in the water? Because
uh,
that'll affect the
4 to
skin.
5 hours.
So do they wear like sort of gumboots and go in, or is it
No,
like a
no,
traditional like
nothing. Yeah, they will just. Yeah, you would find a video.
Okay, this is like, okay, I'm going to go there. I will find the video. Is it earlier? Yeah, no, this is okay. No, but why don't you tell us? I'm looking for the video, but which video is this? Is it above here or see? This is the where they're doing the roasting. So is it this? This is the drying. Is it this? No, this is where you guys are walking in the field. Is it this? This is the harvesting where you're taking pearl also to see it. Oh, she's gone. So guys, this never happened before, but I think that because it's cold over there, the internet's unstable. And here I'm sitting, with the fan and air conditioning. But we'll wait for her because isn't her story? Her story is so fascinating. It's like I'd never even thought of it. So we've got Pratibha joining us from another part of Darbhanga, her house. And this is the Makhana. You must go to her Instagram page because, everything is shown. So she's, is that Pearl with you or your son?
Yeah. Is that Pearl? That is Pearl with me. We take actually Pearl everywhere so she can also experience.
Yeah, and it's named after her.
Yeah, it's named after her, and she can learn everything. And I have sent you like one more link that's also showing the full process. This
Yeah,
is like
I know. I was seeing that, in fact.
Just the first one.
Yeah.
Here.
This one?
Yeah. This is the Makhana plant. And just there's one more thing I wanted to see. This is called Gaja. Gaja is the structure is Gaja, and this is what they use to get the seeds out from the pond.
And this is how the seeds
this is
look.
freshly harvested Makhana seeds.
Wow. So imagine these black seeds, say ye nikalta hai, and I was saying that your Makhanas are called Rasgulla Makhanas because they're bigger than. And then I wanted to show one more video which I saw, which was of the sorting which you're talking of.
Yeah, the sorting that we do.
How much
it's
effort
called manual. Yeah, it's how much. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you were having a samosa jalebi party with them.
Yeah.
Sorting wala kaha gaya. I think this is of course the Makhana. And I saw a video on sorting, but maybe
we have many videos like of sorting on the page.
Yeah. So okay, so let me sum up the story so far, and a very interesting story. So you traveled across the country from Orissa.
Yes.
You yourself has genes from Haryana, lineage from Haryana. You grew up in Orissa. You went to Jabalpur to study. Then you, at some point, you went to Indore to study for your college. You're still there, right? Yeah, and then Pratibha, are you there?
I'm there. I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
then she went to Arizona to study a master's in agribusiness development. She came back to India. She worked in an organic farm for 5 years in Uttar Pradesh. Then settled in Darbhanga because of her husband, who himself had spent many years in Bangalore, and then wanted to do something around the place where she is to sort of for its upliftment. And she saw that Makhana is a local crop, so she started growing this thing 2 years back, and a completely a more ethical way of farming, building on the traditional way of doing it, which is very manual. So making sure that local people are employed, their looks and needs are looked after. And she's also had a organic sort of plant garden where, you know, her staff also has access to good quality organic food. And then she told us about how these black seeds are taken out and you know, sun-dried, clean, put in 5 karais one after the other, roasted, and in the 6th one in this assembly line, someone who beats it, fluffs up, and there could still be some black husk left, but in their case is very little because they grade and get the best ones. And the pearl Mithila Makhanas are called Rasgulla Makhanas because they're like really big. They are bigger than, you know, like bigger than what we are used to. And I've decided that I'm going to refer to Pratibha from now on as the Makhana girl. So Pratibha, is that capturing your story so far correctly?
Yeah, correctly. And
okay.
Correctly. And yeah,
and,
this
and
is
future plans kya hai?
तो future plans ये है कि we really want to connect to more people, you know,
yeah.
to more. And
so folks, you know, I just have a request, like in this video as well as others, but especially here because this is completely unknown. Please, if you're watching this or listening to this, please share this. I mean, I'm not saying it because I want more views for my channel, but I just want, you know, these stories to be heard. It's not that I have that much of a you know, range of coverage. So, but if you please do it, because I think these stories need to be heard. Yeah. So,
yeah.
so you want to, yeah. In fact, I was just thinking maybe going in the future, you've already thought of it perhaps, but you should even do homestays like how you did in you know, you worked in the farm for 5 years. Let people come and you know, young people, or you know, maybe who knows, maybe even me. Comes and
I was about to say that. Please
come and experience
and I
that.
think you have given us a very good idea. We can definitely
because you know, I have a very peaceful lane where I work, but constantly drilling ka sound ho raha. Everyone is constructing, even in a quiet lane like this. So that peace and calm which you're talking of. Yeah,
truly. And then we could definitely, you know, plan a homestay where people can come and experience.
And then, you know, and it's not just about Makhana, like you said. I mean, the organic vegetables and, you know, without any having them fresh, farm to table, literally. Yeah, and of course, maybe even Indian style, mein to table bhi nahi lagta hai. You know, Babu Bhai Bosha, like we say, sitting down in Arda Padmasan. And then yeah.
Like I was just sharing this with Abhinay yesterday only, that Abhinay will just put 2 chairs here, like the next to our vegetable garden, and will enjoy a tea. I mean, you know how lovely that.
You're living the good life. What people want to retire and do, your work is that.
Yeah, so I was like, after a, you know, full day of work, we can just sit here and so it's like, you know, so going forward, like I would say not only for Makhana, but I think, you know, I really want our young generations to know what farming is, what our Indian roots are, and you know, like you write in food, like I think, you know, somehow we have messed up with our food a lot, like our traditional food and everything. We have messed up really a lot, so we really need to know, like.
And I am also learning. I mean, like, I started writing 15 years back, but I think it's only in the last 5 years, and that too even more in the last 3 years, you know, with the pandemic and all that, I'm really getting exposed to this side, because earlier I used to write more on restaurants or street food and all of that, but not so much like the source.
So like, you know, going forward, what we are planning to do is to reach out to more people. Like next year, we are going to, you know, launch our packets in like all the e-commerce, like Flipkart, Amazon, or have this, like, see what, because what I believe that, though we are back to the roots, but we cannot still adopt the traditional way. If we want to reach out to the more people,
You
and,
have to modernize also.
yeah, we need to modernize, and we need to walk, the path they are walking, like,
Yeah.
because they find it easier to just order it with a click,
Yeah, I
how
know.
they are
I know.
used to it, and we want to give them the good food. So
Yeah.
that is actually the future plan. And the
I really
second,
like that, because sometimes, one tends to, be that like that ostrich with the head in the mud, but one has to move at times. I mean, honestly, you're right. I mean, now, if you can click an order, you're much happier that way from an app.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, we want good food for everyone and at affordable price. If you will see at our prices, like the regular makhana, it's more, like budget friendly than the one that we get in the market.
Really? After doing
Yeah.
organic and everything, your pricing is better.
Yeah, our pricing is better.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
So
you're
if
getting
you,
better. I mean, this is like win-win. I guess that's because the middleman or so many distribution channels are not there. Because I recently went to the Upper Crust Festival and I bought olive oil. So I mean, from abroad, but at almost 40% the price. So or 60% the price. So I said, how? They said, because when you're selling at the exhibition, then we are not, paying for the distributor, retailer. So imagine like better products like the Rasgulla. I would say Rajbhog, not even Rasgulla.
yeah.
Rajbhog Makhana comes to you at a cheaper price, and then the delivery price is at cost. No, you
Yeah,
use
no, so we
DTDC.
have, because it's our initial years and we want to reach to more people, the delivery is free all over India.
Wow. What are
Yeah.
you waiting for? Eat makhanas in every meal. Because I was going through the site while I was waiting. There's makhana ka sabzi, makhana ka salad. You can have makhana. I remember I was studying in Calcutta, and the Rizala, they put makhanas. So, I mean, she's
Yeah, so
sending them free. What are you waiting for? So how
we
do
have,
people order? Like they go to your Instagram
yeah,
site?
so they can go to our Instagram and like they can DM us for the order, and we are working on a website and everything. And it also has a WhatsApp link there.
Yeah, sorry.
So they can just directly
Reflecting.
WhatsApp us. Yeah. So they can also directly WhatsApp us. And the reason for, the really, they see the WhatsApp link is there. And the reason for the affordable price is because, as I mentioned earlier, that when I was really studying and when I was in Delhi working in a farm, at times with my salary, I couldn't buy organic food.
No, that's
Somehow,
true.
somehow I feel, don't get me wrong, but somehow we have, symbolized organic food with a status symbol.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
like if
agree.
you
And
say
then you
something,
make, I mean, you tend to make fun of such people that,
yeah,
okay, they're like, poets and
yeah.
activists and all the
So,
rich South Bombay, South Delhi people who can afford it, but not, you don't
correct.
need to. Yeah.
So even if you walk into an organic store, you get the vibe of, that luxury, or when I was studying, I always wanted to have not like, good food as a luxury. Why? Like, good food should be like there. And you know what? The Rasgulla Makhana that we call the premium Makhana, I can totally vouch that we are the only people who are selling the fresh batch, because, every Rasgulla Makhana, it's like you get Rasgulla Makhana 1 kg out of 100 kg of the batch.
Yeah.
Because it's all handpicked, right? And it's the whole lot is being exported out. So when we were doing on our business, I told Abhinay, why we shouldn't we get good food? Why should we export, all the good food to outside, right? And I
Like
was
even tea, the best Darjeeling tea, they say you'll find it in Harrods, not in Bengal or
and that's the culture, right? And we always export the good food. So we made a batch of Rasgulla Makhana. That is the highest Makhana, like the priced batch, because of the hard work it involved. Like, you would say two women could only handpick like 2 to 3 kgs a day.
And also productivity, no? You'll have to, you'll have to grow so much to get so much. So it's also productivity.
And the why we have a good prices, because the profit margin is very less right now. That is that we always kept in the mind that, we don't want, like, why you want to have like lots of money? Like, you need money that you can be just sustainable for your family, right?
I mean, money should be like keep you independent also.
Happy. Independent and keep going, right? So what we do, we pay our farmers good money and immediately, there's a lot of credit.
So not like 3 months later.
Later
clients
on.
who take like 3 months, 6 months, please see them. These are the companies you should emulate.
Yeah, so that's the thing that we because that's the biggest problem in agriculture, that they get paid like a lot later on. So we don't wait that when we will get the money, when we
And
will
they
sell
can't
the
afford it. I
makhana.
mean, their families run on this money, and that too is seasonal. So if you give it to them, like, it's hand to mouth. I also wanted to sort of point out one more learning from you, which I want to share and I want to apply in my own life also, is that, guys, we talk of organic growth and all of that. So this is literally organic growth, that, they're growing organically, and therefore, like, less productivity, lower margins. But also what they're doing is that they've kept the margins low. Now, I'm not saying that keep your margins low, but have that patience, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year. Then I'm sure, like, with the volumes and everyone, like, if you run an honest business, I mean, it comes back to you. It like good karma comes back. So, but that patience, I think, all of us content creators, people who are starting new entrepreneurs, you have to have patience. Like, people say that, how do you write like this? But I've been writing, like, I'm 48. So I've been writing since I was like 8 years old, So, but yeah, so anything takes time. So, Pratibha, you've had like your friends in the US, in Delhi. You've this thing. So, are you still in touch with them? Are they sort of, do they like what you're doing? Are they proud of you? Are you still in contact, or you've new life, new this thing, new world? You're to
No. We are still in the contact with everybody.
And what do they think of what you're doing?
See, you live here, but you crave, right? You want to go out, you want to have fun. So, like Abhinay and I,
Go ahead.
and so the way we have planned our life is that we balanced out everything. I don't feel that modernity is bad, going to club is bad, or metro life. So what we do is, like, we take out every 2 months. Like, we have recently come back for a 10-day travel visit to Delhi, Jaipur, and like everywhere. So, once you go out, have good time, then you come back, then you are more settled down for another 2 to 3 months to, work on. And that is what we are trying to do, like, make good food affordable. Like, so we have Makhana starting from like 499 with free shipping.
So
like
499 a kilo.
A kilo.
Wow. And the kilo, I remember the bag when you sent me, I was like, that's huge. I live in a Bombay house. That's the size of a Bombay apartment.
So that's, and what, many people have mentioned this, that Pratibha, we love the quantity that you have sent. I don't know, like, because we are very honest,
Yeah, and it's easier now. Barbar order karne se, because it's not that you're an online app, so might as well just buy big dabbas.
So, and
put it in your parking lot. The big dabba is not.
So we are trying to be, more customer friendly, and we are the goal is to launch baby food products. Like, good, like the 6-month baby, like, you give Makhana powder. So not only, like, we give Bonvita or, like, Horlicks. So we are trying to make a healthy alternative of that. Wow. With Makhana and other nutritious products.
You were talking of sattu and all, right?
Sattu and all, yeah.
So it's a local wisdom, local knowledge. You can see the face of the person who's sort of putting it together. So it's I mean, it's transparency.
And it's all up there, right? They can connect with us, and they can.
Your site shows everything, guys. You have to see it, and also. I remember towards the beginning, Pratibha, you said that you were into spirituality. And if you see, like, the true spirituality, like whichever school you belong to, it speaks of balance. So because it's also spirituality in day-to-day life. So it's not that you're a monk who's going into the Himalayas or something like that, or to the forest, but the Brahmastha ashram, or Grihastha ashram, as we say. So, like, even yoga, they say yoga for, daily life. So I think this balance you've got on is absolutely beautiful. And I must say that your story will inspire many. It inspires me. I don't know if it inspires me to sort of exactly replicate what you're doing, or to take learnings from you, which is also not bad, to take learnings from your story and to apply it, because everyone has their own
journey, right? See, like, and we have our ups and downs.
But I'm sure that your business will grow, because see, I mean, if your business grows, then all the people who's working with you will also this thing, and maybe, like, I'm sure that with time and when people see what you're doing, then it'll bring about a change in the social or the ecosystem of Makhana in Darbhanga for good. And the best thing is that you're using traditional methods. So it's not that you're using mechanization, not that you're against it, but you're sort of taking the local tradition and wealth ahead, but also making people more sensitized. Because fact of the matter is that in 2020, it is different from 1920 or 1820, right? Society has moved and progressed. I think some of us have enjoyed its fruits, but why shouldn't the rest of the country? So I just think that it's absolutely amazing, Pratibha, what you're doing. The business is named after your daughter, Pearl. And so I'm sure you'll take really good care of it because it's her name. I'm sure your son also will, once he grows up, support it. And Abhinay, thanks for being a lovely husband, and today right now for babysitting. And folks, if I must tell you that I've been using her Makhana. It's absolutely good. My wife loves them, and many of my readers in Mumbai have ordered. And this is where you go to. It's very simple. Go to Instagram, which is where all the action is today. Go to the Pearl Mithila Makhana page. There's a WhatsApp number. You can DM her, place her messages. I guess it comes at 500 grams, 1 kilo, and shipping is free. So even if you're in Kanyakumari or Kashmir, you can order. Right?
And I really want to end this like one thing about you, sir. Actually, I came to know you through Alka. And
Alka Keswani,
Alka Keswani, and I have got this feedback from so many people. Like Alka was like, he's the first person you should connect. Like he's so supportive, he's so loving, and he's so selfless. And then Pratibha, and you should just connect with him. And like I told Abhinay, I've never got such good feedback from one person from so many people. So I think it's my blessing, to really talk to you. And that was, I was in such a hurry to send Makhanas to you, actually. So thank you so much for doing, being you. And, I think we have forgotten the kindness somehow. So I think it's so good. We need people like you more.
I think it's really sweet of you to say this. I think a friend of ours, Anu, who lives down the road. So I was once speaking with her and Manoj, her husband, and she said that I think we should have a lot of gratitude, like that we are in this position where we can make an impact to the lives of people, and like both sets. I mean, people like you who are doing this wonderful job and taking your society together, and I'm sure it'll bring social change, and in an organic way, not social change or banduk leke or a ballot box leke or this thing. And also our lives are becoming better. No, we are and also, like when people get makhana from a direct source like you, then you're roasting it with a bit of ghee at home with your own salt, mirchi, chaat masala, or you're cooking with it. So you're not getting the store-bought stuff, which is like a lot of salt, a lot of sodium, a lot of this thing. Tastes very good, but but thank you, Pratibha. It was lovely talking to you. The moment I got to know about you and your product and the fact that it's so unknown, I said that I must get your story. Though I must say that when I started this interview, I had no idea it's going to be so fascinating. She asked me one thing, that what do I need to prepare for? I said, just be. So thank you, Pratibha, and thanks for the kind words, and thanks for sharing everything about your life and your story and the Makhana story. And guys, go to the Pearl Mithila Makhana page. Pearl is her daughter's name. Mithila is the area where Darbhanga is, and Makhana is this.
Yes.
And also go to a page to see all these things which you're talking of.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm going to say bye from hot and sweaty Mumbai to nice and cold Darbhanga.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Lovely talking to you. Thank you so much
lovely
for
talking
having
to you
me.
too. Lovely.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Bye.